Disney's Dreamlight Valley. Truth be told, this is actually the second time that I've recorded this review. This is a snap judgment review, as I've only played about 15 hours of this at this point, and it looks like it's going to go on for quite a while. I have unlocked most of the world though, so I'm going to give you my review based on the time I had with it. I was looking forward to this title, as I enjoy Disney games normally. That of course is depending on how much money they put into them. Sometimes it's a mediocre experience, or it could be a great one. This one cribs a lot from Animal Crossing. It's real-time based, which isn't really used much as you think it would. You're going to grow crops, fish, mine rocks, and craft all sorts of things while putting on different outfits, while making friends with other people. It's really the real-time based action that really sets this as an Animal Crossing clone. However, they fail to do anything with it. Other than the residents sleeping, I don't really see any point in doing a real-time game. Even when you do unlock a shop or a house or upgrade something, it's an instant thing. There's no waiting. Animal Crossing uses the real-time gimmick to make everything happen in the next day, to keep you playing. This just gives you instant gratification. And while that is cool for gameplay, to keep you coming back, it would have been better to have a delay. This isn't the first time that I played a real-time game on the Switch, other than Animal Crossing, of course. I played Cozy Grove for over 3 months. I finished the story only to see if the parents in that would be redeemed. Spoiler, they're not. They didn't care one bit if their child was stuck on a haunted island. And in this game, I kind of know where the story's going. But to be fair though, they do telegraph it a lot, so it's not hard to work out. Now the story is about you coming to what I think is a park that you used to come to as a child, and falling asleep and you appear in Dreamlight Valley. So from the very beginning, you know it's all just a dream. When you get to the village, you meet Merlin, who explains why they're there, and there was an incident called the Forgetting, and they need to stop it, and find the previous ruler of the world. You're going to need to make friendships with other characters, unlock different parts of the world, as well as travel to other realms in the Disney properties to get more characters for your village so you can stop the Forgetting. The characters in this game act like stalkers. They're constantly following me around. If I'm ever doing anything like fishing, they'll run over to watch. Now you can have them follow you around so they'll level up faster, but they'll do it on their own as well, but they don't get any friendship points for it. Even the wildlife will keep following you if you feed them, and you would think it's because they want you to feed them again, but no, you can only do it once a day. They just won't leave you alone. This is going to be a free-to-play game eventually, but right now you have to pay at least $30 to get into early access in order to play it, and that's what I did. Now you might be wondering, how well does it run on the Switch? Well, I can tell you it runs like shit. It has now crashed on me 9 times and locked up twice. I thought maybe it had to do with the sleep mode and really messing with the real-time clock and its environment, but it was still crashing even when I would load in clean. At this point I started seeing the signs of when it was going to crash, so I started manually saving occasionally, and it helped me enjoy the game more. I didn't have to constantly be worrying like, uh-oh, it's going to crash when I go in this door. The menus are so slow. There's about a 2 to 3 second delay in accessing anything. It was very frustrating. Plus the game's frame rate will lower and the music will start to slur if it starts raining. Speaking of the music, when it was working correctly, I really enjoyed the instrumental versions of famous Disney songs. What I didn't like though was the lack of any real voice acting. There are sound clips, but they should have been fully voice acted, or at least in parts, but it's limited to just a few clips per character. And that feels more like a cost-saving move. There is a map to see where everyone is, if you need to find a character. The map is in the middle of a bunch of menus. I wish we had a mini-map where it would show you the immediate area if there was a person around. The map was so slow to get to, I really didn't want to have to bother to load it. Technical issues aside, this is mostly filled with a bunch of fetch quests, and a lot of grinding for the items you need. It would have been a lot easier to do if the game would just show us the items that we're picking up, or labeling them on the game world. Instead, you would often have to open up your inventory just to see what you picked up. And like I mentioned before, there's a noticeable delay in accessing it, so it becomes a chore to do. The same thing with finding clothes or furniture. It comes in bags that you have to open in your inventory, and until you do that, it's just wasting an inventory slot. Why not just auto-open the bag so it can move into furniture or clothes? These gameplay decisions were just infuriating. You can move around anything on the map, which kind of breaks the game when you can move a fast travel point to places that are blocked off. I would not suggest doing this because the game is so unstable. I have a feeling if you did something it wasn't expecting, it's just gonna break a quest. I did actually trick the quest system once by using a Ratatouille world to say that I had ingredients I didn't have. But luckily I didn't need to have them all in order to complete the quest. Now with this game going free to play, you might be saying, of course it's going to be a grind. That's the way these games are. And to be fair, this game does not feel like a free-to-play game, as you can refill your energy really easily. And I was able to unlock parts of the world just by normally playing it. And I didn't have to use any of my free perks that I got for buying the game in early access. There is a season pass sort of thing, and that's definitely the most grindy part of this game, as the goals are large and you don't get a lot of points for completing it. However, it's just costumes and furniture, and it doesn't affect gameplay at all. So if you're like me who doesn't care about those two things, it's not going to matter too much. Disney's Dreamlight Valley gets better the more time you put into it, but that means that you're going to have to go through hours and hours of kind of really boring quests. And that's a gameplay problem, because you want to hook people right away. Now this game has a lot of issues. It needs some quality of life improvements and massive performance updates on the Switch version before I would ever recommend buying it in early access. I don't know if the PC or other console versions have the same issues with the menus or crashing. However, when it goes to free-to-play, it's at least worth checking out. There isn't anything to lose other than the space in your flash drive. It's very possible by the time it goes to free-to-play, these issues might be fixed due to player feedback. If you have any interest in this, I do think you should wait until it's free.